Welcome back to the 12 Laws of the Brain series. Today, we'll explore a fascinating law of the brain. Law number 9. The brain prefers multiple senses. So why is learning most effective when we use multiple senses simultaneously? Let's find out. To begin, let's hear a rather unusual story. There was a man named Tim. For him, reading a book was like being immersed in disco music. Why? Because for him, reality was a constant blend of senses. Well, we'll start with part 1, the brain's sensory symphony. Before we begin, I have a question for everyone. If the brain is designed for the senses to blend together, why are we often taught and learned to have each sense operating independently? Let's get back to the main point. Tim's story actually reveals a lot about how all our brains work. Tim's condition has a scientific name, synesthesia. It sounds complicated, but basically it's this. When one sense is stimulated, another sense automatically jumps in. For example, for Tim, the letter E is always red, and the letter O is always blue. This shows an important truth. Our brains are designed to integrate information from our senses, not process them independently. Based on that, you now have the answer to the question. If the brain is designed for the senses to blend together, why are we often taught and learned to have each sense working independently? The answer is because the way humans organize education and communicate information is more conducive to separation than integration, while the biology of the brain is the opposite. The brain evolved to connect, and dual sensation is not a fault, but evidence of a flexible, multi-channel processing system. When learning goes against this natural design, its effectiveness is inevitably limited.
So, we've moved on to the next part. Seeing, hearing, and seeing. Before we get to this part, I have a question for everyone. If what we hear can be altered by what we see, then is the reality we believe to be objective truly reliable? Let's get back to the main point. Well, many people might think that double sensation is something rare, only experienced by people like Tim, but that's not entirely true. In fact, we all experience this sensory mixing every day. Now, let's imagine a classic experiment. It's called the McGurk effect. First, we see a person's lips moving to make the sound ga. But at the same time, the sound our ears hear is ba. See, there's a contradiction, right? So the question is, how does the brain process this? The eyes say ga, but the ears hear ba. Ultimately, what sound do we actually perceive? And here's the surprise. Most people will hear the sound da. It's neither ga nor ba. This is an incredibly clever compromise by the brain. It's combining information from the eyes and ears to create a completely new reality. Amazing, right? So how exactly does the brain do this? Currently, there are two main theories to explain it. Imagine them as two military models. The first model is called the central command model. That is, each sense, eyes, ears, nose, sends its own report to a central headquarters where the brain processes everything. Conversely, the second model is more like guerrilla tactics. The senses cooperate and influence each other from the outset. They're like a special forces team, constantly exchanging information to come up with a consensus. Based on that, you have the answer to the question. If what we hear can be altered by what we see, is the reality we believe to be objective truly reliable? The answer is, the McGurk effect shows that reality isn't a raw sensory record, but a version negotiated and reconstructed by the brain. The brain doesn't seek absolute truth, but consistency that's useful for survival, and understanding this helps us think critically better. And this is where things really get important. Regardless of the model, it's clear that the senses work together. And this is what creates a huge advantage for multisensory learning. Before we begin, I have a question for everyone. Why does learning through multiple senses not only help us remember things better, but also make us more creative and better problem solvers? Look at this number, 75%. That's incredibly impressive, isn't it? This is the result of research by Richard Mayer, a leading expert in this field. He showed that when we learn using both visual and auditory means, using both our eyes and ears, our ability to solve problems creatively can skyrocket by up to 75% compared to using only one sense. And this isn't just theory. Experiments have repeatedly shown similar results. People who learn in a multisensory environment consistently outperform. Their memory and problem-solving abilities are significantly higher than those who learn using only one sense. From those studies, Mayer distilled 5 golden rules for effective multimedia learning. First, use both words and images, not just text. Second, present them simultaneously. Third, place them spatially close together. Fourth, eliminate irrelevant elements to avoid distractions. And finally, if using animation, use narration instead of text on the screen. Very useful, right? Based on that, you now have the answer to the question. Why does learning through multiple senses not only help us remember longer, but also help us be more creative and better at problem solving? The answer is because each sense activates different neural networks, and when multiple networks participate, information is encoded in multiple locations in the brain. This not only increases memory capacity, but also creates many new pathways of association, the foundation of creativity and deeper understanding. Okay, of all the senses, there's one that's incredibly special. It has an extremely strong connection to memory and emotion. It's the sense of smell. We could call it the superhighway of memory. Before we begin, I have a question for everyone. Why can a single scent instantly awaken memories and emotions that reason can't reach? Let's get back to the main point. There's a powerful story to illustrate this. It tells of a Vietnam War veteran who later became a medical student. However, the smell of burning flesh in the operating room immediately pulled him back to the horrific memories of the battlefield. And ultimately, he was forced to abandon his medical career. A story that shows the extraordinary, almost instantaneous power of scent to evoke memories. This phenomenon has a very poetic name, the Proust effect. It is named after the writer Marcel Proust, who made incredibly vivid descriptions of how a scent or a taste can evoke a whole realm of vivid, seemingly forgotten memories. So why is the sense of smell so special? To understand this, we need to look at the pathways of our ordinary senses. Most information from the eyes, ears, and skin must pass through a brain relay station called the thalamus. From there, the signal is distributed to other areas of the cerebral cortex for processing. But scent is different. It has its own path, a special shortcut. Signals from the nose go directly to the amygdala, the center for processing emotions, and other brain regions, without having to cue at the thalamus. This shortcut explains why a scent can instantly trigger such powerful emotions and memories. Based on that, you now have the answer to the question. Why can a single scent instantly awaken memories and emotions that reason can't reach? The answer is because the sense of smell has the biological privilege of going directly to the center of emotions and memory without passing through the relay station of reason. Scent is perceived before it is thought about, making the memories it evokes more vivid, instinctive, and powerful than any other sense. So, knowing all this, how can we utilize our senses in life?
Before we begin, I have a question for everyone. If the senses are so powerful, what long-term consequences would living and learning in a sensory-poor environment have? Let's look at some real-world examples. From classrooms to shops, businesses, especially in retail, have quickly grasped this. They call it sensory marketing. For example, simply emitting the scent of chocolate near a vending machine can boost chocolate sales by 60%. Or at an ice cream shop, the aroma of freshly baked waffles can increase sales by 50%. Even a clothing store doubled its revenue simply by using scents tailored to the customer's gender. Very impressive. Based on that, you already have the answer to the question. If the senses are so powerful, what long-term consequences will living and learning in a sensory-poor environment have? A sensory-poor environment is like a nutritionally deficient diet for the brain. It doesn't make us dumber,
but it prevents us from fully exploiting our potential. By proactively designing a sensory-rich living and learning space, we not only learn better, but also live more deeply and connect more. So let's summarize the main points of brain rule number 9. First, our senses evolved to work together, not individually. Second, we learn and remember best in a multi-sensory environment. And finally, remember that scent has a privileged path, a direct route to the emotional center. And to conclude, I want to leave a question for all of us to ponder. If just one scent can improve memory by more than 10%, how much potential are we missing out on living, working, and learning in a world that is increasingly impoverished in terms of sensory experiences? Are we unknowingly depriving our brains of nourishment? A question worth considering. Thank you for watching today's video, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.